that one. Maybe that'll make a difference. There we go, YouTube. Didn't miss much. Just that I told Travis not to text me again, and he sent me 2 more text messages saying he understood the message and that he loved me. What do you guys think is the answer for this one? We got A's. Yep, 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 yep. Did he? I hope so. Yay. All right. Here we go. CPT 1. Be sure, don't read anything of this question. If you're reading the question, you're doing it wrong. Please make sure. Go to these available answers. Look for similarities. What's our differences? What's our similarities, right? Super helpful. What's all the same? We have 2 of them that are in the 7s and 2 of them that are in the 6s. What's the difference between those 2 differences? Sometimes there's a header difference. Hey Mel, good to see you on TikTok. How's it going? So, let me go to the video. Okay. Video. Properties. Sorry guys, it's going to be a green screen for just a second. And then let me fix that. Properties. CRC. There we go. Okay. So, let's go to 507. You know what? Switch books. I'm going to do this one. We're going to do this one. This will be taller. 507. 507.50. 507.50. Now, don't read the CPT code descriptor. If you're doing that, you're doing it wrong also. 750 and 750.80 are right here. But we don't read those CPT code descriptors of 507.50 and 507.80. What we're going to do is look back at the blue header, which says we're doing a repair. And then we're also going to go back and look for a body part. What body part are we working under? Ureter, the red header. Ureter. So 507.50 and 60, 70, whatever. That's ureter. Why are you not writing on this piece of paper and staying? That just is irritating. What the heck did that do? Ureter. Okay.
Do you know where the mailbox is?
No. I'm teaching a class, baby. I don't know what happened to it. What'd y'all do to it? Seriously? Yeah. No. Ask Grandma. She has an extra one. Grandma's always got extra stuff. Okay, I don't know why my pen tool is not writing, but anyway, you got to remember ureter and repair, and then 90650 is going to be under ureter, but we're under incisional and biopsy. What did we do for today? Incisional, biopsy, or did we do a repair? If we're under 906, we're under incisional or biopsy. If we're under 907, we did a repair. Stay put. Stay put. Stop. Ooh, I got some new highlighters today. These are kind of cool too. Every year, I think they have this like contest between all the pen makers who make ink pens and stuff. And I've never watched it and then purchased what they said, you know, was like the year winner ever in my entire life. It's always been something I wanted to do to see if there was anything really, really cool. So this year, the 2025 winner of the highlighter contest was something called this. I don't know if you guys can see this. Hold on, let me make the thing bigger. There goes my ADHD brain all over the place again today. But the winner of the 2025 highlighter contest was this brand right there, KIRE-NA, and it's by the company Pilot. We've all heard about those ink pens, right? Pilot. Well, this highlighter won the contest for 2025. So I wanted to see what all the hype was about. And it's about around the ink, and I doubt you can see it, is this clear guard that's on the top and on the bottom of it. So when you go to highlight in your book, what happens is that guard makes you highlight in a straight line, which is one of the things that I have to do all the time. Normally I have my black thing. Where's my little cell phone stand? I usually use my little cell phone stand thing, or I get a straight edge and then I highlight with a straight edge all the time so that I can do this because I'm old. I'll be 60 in like 5 years or something like that. So my hands shake. So with that guardy thing around it, for some reason it makes you highlight in a straight line or something. But anyway, I got 2 different colors of blue. There's only one place you can actually buy this highlighter right now too, because you can't get them anywhere else right now. Where was the order form? Oh, here's the order form. It's called Jet Pens is where you can get them from right now. And they're like $1 each, Jet Pens. But I haven't used them yet. But anyway, I was just excited to see what the differences were. I couldn't get all the yellows. The yellow highlighters are all sold out. But I did get 2 different colors of orange 2 different colors of pink, 2 different colors of blue, and I think 2 different colors of a cream color. I don't know. But anyway, we'll try them out and see if they help me stay in a straight line like they're supposed to be. But anyway, gonna try them out, see how they do. What do you guys have for the correct answer for this question? Now that we know that the differences between the 2 answers is one of them is an incision and one of them is a incision, or one of them is a repair, sorry, and one of them is an incision or a biopsy. What did we do today? Only look through the question to see what you did. If we performed this type of procedure, then you know you were not doing just an incision, right? Or a biopsy. This is an actual repair where you're removing part of a problemed area and then resewing the item back together, right? So you know you're going to be under a 107. So doing that before you read the CPT code descriptor is super helpful. 100% if you want to learn how to pass this exam, go to the answers first. Divide your answers up into 2 groups if you can, especially if the numbers tell you the first 3 digits are different, then you know you can. Look at the headers between those differences. 506s are under the blue header of incision and biopsy, where the 107 is under the header of repair. Look in your question for keywords that mean just an incision or biopsy, or that a repair was done. They're not going to say in the question they did a repair. They're not going to make it that easy for you. You need to know your AKA terms for what a repair would look like. What would it be? Or what an incision would be, or a biopsy would be, without them saying the word biopsy. That is super helpful. With this one, we know that this particular vocabulary term means that they did a repair. So now you get to look at the differences between answers A and answer C's CPT code descriptor. So 50760 just says an ureter, urethra, ostomy, right? And then 80 says amostasis of a single ureter to the bladder. Which one do you think is the correct answer? Now, pay very close attention. 507 says bladder. Oh, 80, sorry. 507.80 says bladder, right? 507.60 just says ureter, right? What in here did you work on? Ureter, the upper pole of the ureter, the lower pole of the ureter, the upper pole of the ureter, the lower pole of the ureter bypass to an obstructive point. Did they mention bladder in here at all? No, they didn't. So you're repairing, saying that we fixed a bladder if you did 507.80. And that's not what we did. We only repaired the ureter. And that is what 507.60 is. You see how 507.60 is kind of missing some of its CPT descriptor, where 507.80 has more of an explanation like that anastomosis of a single ureter to a bladder? Well, actually, 50780 is also could be a repair, just like 50780 by anastomosis. Remember, we picked out this word as the meaning of the word repair. So all of these codes here all do repair. Anastomosis is a form of repair, right? So all of them are a repair. The only differences are the body parts. And 50760 is ureter, where 50780 is to bladder and ureter. It's a combo code. Also, if it's a difference between two answers, 50760 and 50780, and you're doing your exam, what is the best practice if you just had to guess? Would you pick the 60 number or would you pick the 80 number? More often than not, it's not always the case, but more often than not, the answer is always going to be the smaller of the two numbers, which would have been 60A anyway. There you go, V. Perfect. This one's a very difficult question. It's very, very high level, but really good one. All right, let me put up the next one and let me check on chat and see what I missed, because I've been rattling on for a while and I haven't looked at chat. There you go, Geninator. Yay! Dang it, Jen. I did not get a chance to answer in time. Oh, sorry, Michelle. I thought I gave y'all plenty of time to play around with that one. Remember, you only got 120 seconds to pick out the correct answer. 120 seconds goes by super fast. So please, 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 let me get rid of that red line on TikTok. Be sure to run to the codes, look at their headers, the red and blue headers. Then check your question to see which header you're under. All these have tons of different headers, right? We've got two of them that are under the 585. We have one under 587 and one under 581. Because I have two answers, oh, you can tell I already did this one, that we already did this one. You can tell because I wrote that down. But that is super helpful because the questions are separated by the parent codes. I would run to the 585s first because there's two answers in those. Once you get to those answers, you're going to find that the 585s are children codes, right? And you have to go look at the parent codes, which is the 58558 versus the 58570. And then that will get you down to the correct answer. One more very, very, very important process in this certification exam is sometimes the codes, it's not just a difference between the red and blue header, but it could be a difference between the parent code also, when your available answer is a child code underneath. And you can't ever look at the child code and then check your question to see if that's part of the answer. You need to go check the parent code first. But if you learn how to do these steps by looking at the headers, the red and blue ones, then looking at the mama codes, it is a faster process, I promise, and it will get you much better results on your exams. Thank you for the 3,000 taps on TikTok. You guys are awesome. How many we got on? We got 20 on there. How many do we have on YouTube? 35 of you guys. Awesome. Yay. And we got 11 likes on YouTube. Thank you so much. Everybody got the answer to this one? Yep. All right. Our first brand new question right here that we have for this week. I don't think you guys have seen this one. We're going to go to musculoskeletal. We got 245. Our next matching number is the 3. So I like A and B. So I would run straight to those two first. 2, 4, 5, 3, 5, and 3, 8. Be sure to learn how to read going from code to code by looking at these numbers. The top range, that's a much easier way and a faster way to look for the right answer instead of going up and down these columns in the book. 2, 4, 5. It'd help if I didn't wipe mine out. 2, 4, 5. 3, 5, and 3, 8. Yes, you know, you cannot white out like I did. All right, 3, 5, and 3, 8. So these are under the header of fracture, and they're under the body part of humerus, upper arm, and elbow. Check your question. Make sure we're doing upper arm or elbow versus in a fracture. Is that what we got going on? If you know where this particular fracture is located, that will help out. Sometimes they'll just tell you a fancy word for part of the body, and it will not usually on the exam include this information where it says that it's part of the left upper extremity. They'll leave out that sentence. You'll only get a fancy word for the body part, and then you have to figure out if that's upper or lower arm. So that's one of the challenges on the exam for a few of the questions, not all of them, just a few, just enough to make you not pass for sure, like get a 68 or something. So our 35 and 38. 38 is its own parent code, but 35 is a child code. You got to go look at its mama, which is 24530, which is the parent code. The parent code 24530 is a closed procedure, where 24538 is through the skin kind of procedure. Did Grandma give you a key?
Yeah.
For the EA. All right, be sure and give her back her key.
I did.
Thank you, thank you. It's cold out there, huh?
Yeah.
It got cold outside. Let's see what Amazon brought today. Our sunscreen. It's getting to be summertime. Had to order some sunscreen. Also, if it's a difference between two codes being billed or one code being billed, what would you do in general? And if they're using wires and fluoroscope guidance, you know they went inside the body, right? The 3-5 means that it was a closed procedure, that nothing was done inside the body. You see how they're giving you other words to let you know it's a through the skin skeletal fixation, but they're not going to say that to you. You have to figure that out on your own. A closed procedure means they did not go inside the body at all, right? They just popped the bone back into place. And that would have been your 30 or 35, right? But if they're using a camera and wires, then you know they went inside the body to wrap the bone together, right? So they went through the skin, but they didn't tell you that, but they kind of did, if you know your AKA terms, right? You got to know what percutaneous skeleton fixation means. What would you see in the note? If they're going under the skin and they're going to wrap wires around something, you can't do that with magic, right? You got to use a camera. You got to see something, right? So yeah, that's why B is your answer. Yeah, and what you do is when you are writing your notes, right, for the 2, 4, 5, 3, 8, we know what words they used in the exam question to say they used percutaneous skeletal fixation. They used fluoroscope and 2K wires, right? So you're going to go in here next to your CPT code, right? And you're going to put AKA fluoroscope and K-wires. That's how I make my notes. And every practice question that you do, if you write just a little bit of something that meant the difference between those descriptors, that will make a huge, huge difference. Huge difference. For the 3-5, I put AKA reduction. For 2, 4, 5, 30, the closed treatment of this type of fracture is just a sling. We just put the person in a sling is what's going on inside that CPT code descriptor. So, very helpful. I was way off again. These are confused me in being sure which book we can use. We are using to look up the codes. What help can you provide? What was the answer to the last question? Okay. So, number one, knowing the basics about code format. What is a CPT code and what is an ICD-10 code? That is super helpful to learn. That helps you know which book to look at. So B was the answer to the question before us, before this one. We know that CPT codes are 5 digits long with no period in the middle of the number sequence, and that's how we know we're always in an AMA CPT book. If we're doing a diagnosis code question, which I have one, hold on. Yep, coming up in like 2 more questions away. If we're doing an ICD-10 question and we need to be in a different book, we know that ICD-10 is in a 3 to a 7 code digit And we will always be in this book if there happens to be a question where there's a dot in between the numbers. And then that way you know you're always in this one. If by chance you're doing a question where there's a letter before a set of numbers, like A11111, something like that, you know you're always in the HIPICS book. So that's how we keep straight of which books we're in. And I'm sorry, you're not seeing the books because you're not on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, you're able to see the differences in the books because I have my camera view on. But a letter before numbers means you're in general in the HIPICS book. A dot in between the set of numbers like this above means you're in the ICD-10 book, which is the orange one. And then no dots means, and you have 5 digits, means you're in the AMA CPT book. So hopefully that helps out. Let me get back to the question that was coming up next real quick, and then I'll turn back on the screen. So just a second. Okay, which one did we just do? We did that one. All right, here's our new one. Now y'all don't freak out when y'all see the answer. Don't panic. The very first CPT code is in all the answers. So we got nothing to worry about. Not a thing. I got too many books on my desk. All right, no panicking. The first CPT code is in all the answers, so it don't matter one bit what all those codes are at. Then we have 3 answers that all have the 5-4 code in it. And then we have 2 answers with the 4-5 code. And then the real only difference is the 30 and the 31. Technically, really. We could do the 45 and the 46, which is different. We could do the difference between the 30 versus the 31. You can see that 2 answers have the 31 in it and 2 answers have the 30. You don't want to look up a number that's going to be in all of them because it won't matter, right? Let's go look up our 30 and our 31 because that's easy. I like doing 2 numbers at a time. So 209. 209. 30 versus 31. And they're probably going to be under the same header, huh? Ooh, I got down in my notes, tells you when not to use the microscope. That is so handy dandy. I wish I'd had that during my exam. Y'all, those codes we don't use the microscope in. I wish I'd had that during my exam. Oh my gosh, that is so nice. All right, 209, focus Jennifer, 209, 30 versus 31. Okay, 2 different types of allografts. Really cool. Let's go back over here. Where am I at? $209. 30 versus 31. So what is our differences between these 2 allografts? One of them is for spinal surgery. The other one is for maybe like a shoulder joint, that kind of thing. You got to know what ARTICULAR means. that word surface, what does that mean? That means you are in a joint, where the 31 is in a spine, and then 30, where are we at right here? We are in more cells. What does MORCLIZED? And then our allograft 31 is a structural device. So that's like your spinal column, something that holds you up. But what does a more cells end up being? I have down in my notes that it's a small hip bone, chips of bone, and that 31 is for a larger spine surgery only. Both of those I also have in my notes that you cannot use the modifier 62 with them, so that's kind of handy dandy to know during the exams, which modifiers do use. So where are we at in the body? Where are we at? Where are we at? Are we in the hip, spine? We have bony fragments. That looks like that more cells number that they were talking about, right? If we're dealing with bony little fragments, I think we're going to be a 30. So I would keep A and B. And then my differences between A and B is 22845 and 46. What's our differences between those two? 22845 and 46. 45, we're dealing with plate, rod, or cable, or screws. And 46, we're dealing with the same thing, but we're doing more than 4 to 7 vertebrae segments. How many are we doing? We're doing C1, no, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6, C7. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Segments. How many segments? Segments I have marked in the beginning of our CPT book. So a segment is like L1, L2, L3, but an interspace means you combine them together, where C1, C2 would be one interspace. But so sometimes they use the words interspace and segment. They're not listed in the CPT book that way. They're called something else sometimes, so I like to make sure that I have mine drawn in. So you guys on TikTok, this is how I draw mine in on my anatomy book in the front of the CPT section. A segment equals 1, 2, 3. Those are all segments. But an interspace is the combination of both. L1 to L2 is one interspace. L3 to L4 is a second interspace. So if we're doing segments, then it's just the vertebral body. So we know in this example with all the C's that we do get to count each C as one. So our question is a difference between two CPT codes, but we have to know how many segments there are that were done. And that's, you get to count from C2 all the way to C6, and then you pick out your correct answer. Does that make sense, guys? And yeah, it's crazy. B is our answer, and it has the most amount of CPT codes. Out of all the answers, this is one of the rarest occurrences on the exam, is where you actually do code more codes than any of the other answers. Yep. That's why this one is B. Yes, it is a very rare question indeed that you pick the one with the most amount of CPTs being built. Yeah, it's a really cool question. But just don't panic and take things one step at a time and look at your differences. This was really simple if you just looked at the difference between this one dealt with tiny little bone segments and this one dealt with bigger bone segments, right? So we saw that we were dealing with fragments. So you can go to the 20930 and you can write this word beside it, right? You'll know the next time if you see that code on your exam, you'll know that your question, you need to go look for that particular vocabulary term, because they don't change their wording of the way they write questions. And even if they rewrote this question and wrote it in a different format for you with a different answer, they would still use the word fragments for that CPT code, because everybody's a creature of habit, right? They've already figured out one way to make another vocabulary term for that M word that's in that CPT code descriptor. They're not going to come up with another different fancy word for that M word other than fragments, because that's what they like right now. And they've already paid somebody to come up with a way to say it and write it in a question. So that's a really good word to write down next to 20930. And then it was just a difference between the 45 and the 46. And then that difference was this right here. So, yay. Super easy. You guys can do this on the exam no matter what question they throw at you, if you know what to look for as far as AKA terms goes. And just take it one step at a time. All right, here's our next one. Two of them start off with the same CPT code. Then it's just a difference between a modifier, a 51 and a 76. Because they're both the same answer. The question's probably just the difference between those two modifiers, right? And whatever the answer is, if it is a difference between those two modifiers, I would write that example next to the modifier list that we have in our CPT code book. Right on the first main page of the CPT book, where they got that mini list of all the CPT codes, or the modifiers, I mean. So, like for example, one of the answers that for a different question for modifier 22 ended up being a foreign body via a scope. They must have spent more time with that patient. So I wrote that example right next to it. Super helpful. Are we a 51 or a 76? 76 is a repeat procedure, and 51 is multiple procedures. What did we do today? What's the A for? Miss Mika, what's the A for? What's going on? What'd I miss? Does your page on YouTube have all the notes to mark up the CPT code book? not all the notes. It's the only way I do make, any kind of money since I quit my job and stay home with you guys. Not every single CPT code is shown and every single note. There's at least the first part or the ending part. There's some part, like for the ICD-10 guidelines, I do the first 10 pages with you guys. And there's only 33 pages. So the last 20 you can do by yourself if I've done the first 10, and you can recreate what I did and do it yourself. I give you enough to where you can go do it yourself on my YouTube channel for the $5 a month fee, right? But if you want a copy of page by page of every single note and every single thing that I wrote in my books, then that's why I do sell the notes individually that you can download, or as a big bundle that you can download. Totally up to you guys, but hopefully you don't need to purchase anything from me. And hopefully you just win a YouTube membership from me, because I give away 5 every night when I go live to you guys. And then that way, at least at some point while you've been watching my free live lessons, you get at least a month of my YouTube videos that you could spend going through and at least getting some of my notes from every section of the books written in your manuals. Then you can go recreate them yourself. I didn't invent, nuclear science. It's fun. And hopefully, and I'm explaining what I'm doing and where I got the info from and all that stuff while I'm making the notes with you guys on YouTube. So hopefully that's helpful. But the income that I do make from selling my notes individually like that does help me pay for like the $10,000 that I spent on the courses and the franchise fees for CPT and ICD-10 and aapc and all that stuff. That's just like per year that I have to spend on all that kind of stuff. So hopefully that helps. Plus I buy all the lovely little books and stuff to tell you guys don't buy those. All the ones from Amazon or anyone that's selling any practice exam questions. I purchase all those. As long as they're not a different teacher. If they're like, some no-name company selling a bunch of practice questions, I'll buy those, like Exam Ease and Pocket Prep and all that kind of stuff. I love buying all those and seeing if they're worth it and letting you guys know whether they're worth it or not. But if another instructor is selling their own exam questions, I don't buy those. Those are going to be worth it, right? If they're a teacher. So we ain't going to worry about that. But I do purchase every book that's published out there and all that kind of stuff for you guys, for sure. Let's see. I can shrink it. All you're not seeing is on the question, which is nothing important. It just says what CPT code is reported. It's not that big of a deal. You have everything you need on the screen to see the question. I mean, if you're having a fit and absolutely want to see it, I can shrink it down and make it smaller. It just says what CPT codes are reported, plus it might just say cleaning, dressing applied, but nothing significant for you guys. I'm just trying to make it big enough for everybody to see what they need. Indeed, this answer is the 51 modifier. We didn't need anything as far as repeat procedure. This was super easy. You didn't have to look up any CPT codes if you wanted to. There is always a reason why they have the same answer down twice on a particular exam question. They want to know if you know the difference. They're testing you on the difference. So don't go rogue and pick something else. 1% of the time it might be something else, but it's not worth the chance of you diving into that question This one's a cool new one that I've not seen before, I don't think. I don't know. In ICD-10, codes for factor influencing health status and contact with the health services begin with what letter? A, E, V, and Z. In case anybody was looking for the duck class from yesterday, no one showed up for the duck class, so there wasn't anything worth recording and saving, so there won't be one being posted on YouTube in 30 days from yesterday's duck class. We're just doing the questions now that I had prepared for the duck class, so this technically will be the duck class. Thanks, V. You have trigger fingers right now. You've had several surgeries on them. Oh gosh, dog. I fell at Disney, what was that, like 4 years ago when I first started out teaching, and I injured my last 2 fingers right here. And I had to go to physical therapy and everything. I couldn't close my hands or bend those fingers at all. I couldn't hold medicine in it or anything. And physical therapy thankfully worked on those fingers. But I still have pain in them, and they don't work as well as the other ones. They don't curl as tight, you know. I can't curl them as tight. It's really hard. But luckily, they still stick from time to time too. Like I'll have a finger, one of those 2 fingers will stick, and I can't bend it. And it'll take me a minute to get it moving again, but luckily, no surgeries. Very, very blessed. But I know it won't, the older I get, the more arthritis and stuff sits in them. I just got to remember to keep doing the physical therapy exercises that they told me to do. Keep having to strengthen my grip, and I keep having to get them moving. I keep the lymphatic tissue around the joints moving and push it all down, because when they get swollen with that lymphatic tissue, it hinders the movement. So I have to keep that moving for sure. But there is nothing worse than not being able to have your fingers move, right? We use them for everything. It's terrible. This one is Z. Good job, good job. All right, what about this question? All right. So we've got codes that are all over the place. One's a 315, one's a 316, and one's a 325. What would we do there? Just start at the top and work your way down is always my strategy. 315 00 which is under the header of introduction. What body part are we under? The larynx. Okay. 316. Let's see. 316. 03 is under the body part trachea and bronchial under incision. Are we under larynx or are we under trachea? Let's figure that out first before we move on to 325. What are we working on? What body part? We got a chest wound. We got a thoracotomy. Where is that located at? Is that part of a trachea or bronchia? Or is that part of a larynx? That's what this question is about. Those red headers. Do you know your differences? Do you know what procedures are done under each procedure? do we need to go to our 3255? Let's go see. 3255. 3255 is also under introduction. What body part are we under? Is it the same body part? We're under lungs and pleural. Pleura. Lungs and pleura. For this one. Isn't that cool how your differences, larynx, trachea, lungs. What are we dealing with? We're dealing with breathing. Did you have to look up a CPT code? Did you have to look up a descriptor? Most of the times not the code and the description of that CPT code. You're only looking for the blue and red headers. Those differences are the difference from passing and failing this exam. There you go. So you know your answer is easy peasy, right? But if you look at the blue headers, 2 of them mean introduction, and you know it can confuse you. But if you were looking at the red headers for the red body parts, there's no confusion, right? Thora. Where is thora? That is a chest tube, right? We're not in the throat tube area, right? You can also add things like sucking chest wound or it's probably what I would add to our 32551 area. That way you know what the answer is. Ooh, I gotta do the puzzle piece on TikTok. Hold on. Ugh. Oh, try again. Let me try again. I missed it. There we go. Yay, got it. Okay. Puzzle piece done. Okay. Our next question. ICD-10. They're all going to be in a row, so that's nice. K51 versus K52. K51. ACD. JK. What in the world? You can tell I've updated this book to include all the new codes from the 2025 book. This is a 2024. I changed it and turned it into a 2025 book with there was some new K codes, but they're all K60. All right, so K51. K51 is ulcerative colitis. K52 is other and unspecified non-infected gastritis. We don't usually use the word other in a correct answer, so anything that starts out with the word other, so K52, I would not use for this one. So I know I'm going to stick with A, B, and C. Then am I a 5 or a 9? K51.5 is left-sided colitis. K51.9 is unspecified. Where are we at? We've got it with rectal bleeding. Do we even know what side we're on? Probably not. So I would stick with the unspecified because we won't know what side it's on. So then are we a 9-1 or a 9-0? 9-1 is with complications. And then 9-0 is without complications. Would you call rectal bleeding a complication? If you do, then you know B is your answer. If it is not a complication due to ulcerative colitis, then you would pick C. Not too bad. Not too bad of a question. Aw, I'm sorry, Christy. My belated ex-husband passed away last year in February. I suspect there was something like this also going on. But since he was an ex-husband, I don't know for sure. I guess I could always get his death certificate here if I needed to, because he is the baby daddy of the IT director. But such a shame. Work all those years and then pass away before you can even retire and collect any of that Social Security. He was 60 years old. All right. Our next one. Are we a 43235? A 200? Would you not worry about any of that and just look at your modifiers? Are you a 52 or a 53 as far as modifiers go? Oof. I think that might be an easier route. Ooh, I gotta put let me put my little thingies on here. Where am I at? My little book's getting caught on my other books because I don't have my little stopper things on them. There we go. I bought a blue million of them and I still haven't put them on the books. These are knitting needle thingies, and I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing, but they're little knitting needle, little top hats I got for the little bookends. So people that are like sewing needles, they come in like little cute ones too, like they have cactuses, I got some mushrooms, and then I got the little top hat little things too. So that's what they look like, the little top hats. And then there's the mushrooms and the little cactuses, but they just go on the top of a knitting needle. So if you were sewing a needle or something, you just put that on the top of the needle. But they work great at stopping this unraveling and catching on other book mess. Yeah, let's shove that in there. There we go. Let me do that to this ICD-10 book. I bought all this crap and then didn't put it on any of the books. Well, you guys work on that question. What do you guys think is the answer for that question? Well, I'm piddle farting. Let me put you guys TikTok back over there to that. I think it's just a difference between some modifiers. And then if you pick two different modifiers that are the same, like if it's 53, if it is, then it's going to be a diagnosis code difference. between the 5 and the 4. Yeah. Put that on there. Let me get a cactus for the bottom one. Ooh, the cactuses work really good. They go in far, the little stopper thing. That's nice. Okay. Yeah, let me put a cactus on that end because this one keeps coming off. There we go. Cactuses, the little tippy end goes in really, really far. This one keeps popping off. Yeah, that one you can thread it almost. Yeah, you won't come off now. There we go. Alright. What book model? That's 23. We ain't gonna fiddle with you. 24. My dang, when I do the twist ties, it leaves that sharp edge which shreds the first cover and stuff of your book. Like, it's terrible how that shreds up the book. But with the stoppers on the end, it won't do that anymore. We put it on the 2025s. Yeah. Go-Kart likes 53. Teresa likes answer A and C. We got 6,000 taps on TikTok. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. And we got Go-Kart with a bunch of gifts, I think. And V too. Awesome. This one is not C. Try again. Let me undo whatever I just did. There we go. It's not C. Ooh, I hit underline. That's not what I wanted. It's not C. Did you look up your differences between your diagnosis codes? Only one answer has the K28.1, where 3 of your answers have the K28.5. Look for your similarities. We've got our 3-5. And if you know you're a 5-3, you want to pick something that's similar on the end too. There you go. A is the correct answer. Good job. All right. 3 of the answers are in the 6-6 area. Only one of them's in the 6-0 area. Haven't even opened up the mushrooms yet. They look a little bit wide. I wish they were a little bit smaller, but we'll see if they'll work. It's too cute. All right. More crap to spend your money on so it doesn't go into your Roth IRA and save for your retirement. But it's a needed item because these books are a nightmare until we pass. Once we pass our certification exam, you can burn the books and we don't need to look at them no more. Unless you're want to take my notes with you when you go to a job and know what's inside the CPT code descriptor, what, because a lot of times in my notes I go way overboard and tell you exactly what's going on inside each CPT code. You don't technically need that info during the exam. You just need that one word difference that I write underneath the CPT code descriptor and any highlights that I highlight. But if you take my notes with you that actually tell you what's going on inside each CPT code procedure, like this one includes the wires or fluoroscope, or this one does not include the microscope, that's super handy dandy. You could be smarter than anybody else that works there. All right. Get in the hole, mister. Here we go. There we go. Purple mushroom. Here we go. That's our 2025. Whew, I got so many of these books everywhere. What do you guys think is the answer for this one? Everybody saying C? I was wondering if they let us take our books into the testing site with the mushrooms on them. Yeah, I'm sure they will. There's no words written on them. I'm sure it's just fine. And if they're that picky, you can take them off during the exam. It's no big deal. It's not like they're glued on or anything. This one is C. You guys got it right. Good job. Y'all don't even need me anymore, do you? What do you guys think the answer is for this one? Are we in N? Does that section, kidneys, go first? Or does something in like diabetes go first? If it is an N, then what would be the second code? Would it be another N code or would it be an E code? Just take it one step at a time. Two answers do start off with the same answer, B and C. That makes it very intriguing. Then it's just a difference between your N or your E. This one has 5 diagnosis codes. So does this one. But the top 2 only have 4. This one's already become unthreaded. This is a 2025 book. Ugh. Thread. Okay. Mushroom. Let's do another mushroom. mushrooms. And this one's got a red one, a red mushroom. It's our ICD-10. What do you guys think is the answer? Free coins. Oh boy. We got a spammer. You can mute her if she keeps on go-kart. You need these books. You need me. Aw, Miss Jackson. I hope so. Hope I can help you out a whole bunch. What do you guys think is the answer? Let's give away some YouTube memberships too, by the way. Let me go send YouTube some money for five memberships. If you're in YouTube chat, please type in chat like what state you're typing from, maybe when you're going to take your exam. I don't know. What was the last thing you got mad at your spouse by, you know? Who forgot to do their chores today? I don't know. Type anything in chat because YouTube picks the winners. And usually the pattern is who's been most chatty in the chat box. So let me send them some money real quick and let's see who's going to be the winner of a month free of my YouTube membership. Yay. Okay, I just sent them the money. YouTube picks the winner, so I have no idea who's going to win. Brazen, Triple, Sick One, Alexis, and India. All won. Your favorite state, Tennessee. Florida, April 14th. You know that's my birthday, Jenny. That's just going to make you want to pass for sure. You got to pass on my birthday. You have to. How old will I? I'll be 54 this April 14th. So you got to pass. Christy's doing February 20th, Florida. Awesome. I hope it was married 18 years. I only made it 4 complete years. Yeah, I didn't make it very long being married. Let's not do that again. Summer months for certification test. But by then I had a kid, so then I didn't want to ever bring in like a stranger into the home, you know, around my kid because I was scared. You never know. You never know anybody until you're married to them. So we'll just keep it single. Let's not do that again. All right. And then I just adopted more kids. That was easier. All right. Your daddy was a CNA? Oh, worked for hard. That's the hardest job known to man. Oh my gosh. You're so welcome for the gifts. I'm hoping that helps out a whole bunch. I will be on spring break with the boys. My mommy, she is 73 this year. She just had a birthday on the 20th of February. My mommy wanted to go to Las Vegas for her birthday. So we're going to take the boys with us on spring break. So we're going to Vegas next week, Monday through Thursday. We're going to do the spear thing. Like, you know, there's like this animal show at this big tubey thing. I don't know, I guess it's a ball. It's a coliseum, but it's a ball, and there's a movie on top of the ball. Oh my gosh, I'm describing this horribly, but anyway, we're going to go see a movie about animals on Tuesday. Wednesday, I got to take a car in to get serviced because the only service center close to where we live for our car is Las Vegas, so we'll take that in on Wednesday. And then the rest of the time, we're just going to roam around. We can't, you know, gamble with the kids because they're 16 and 15. But we're also taking one of the cheerleaders with us to hang out. And we're just going to go roam around Vegas and spend money on absolutely nothing that we need. And hang out together for 4 days. And chase Grandma down in her scooter. But hopefully, maybe we can see a show too, like Circus Olay or something, if they're not too bad experience. But good gracious, that Spear movie with the animal thing was $500 for just 5 seats to see that thing. So everything's like really expensive. You know how Vegas is. But anyway, just for one show. But we'll see what we can do for some other stuff to do while we're in Vegas. But hopefully we'll have a good time. But I will not be able to go live for you guys on Monday or Wednesday like normal. I will put one down on the books for Friday, but my brain will probably be pretty scattered, but hopefully it won't be too bad. But we'll do one next Friday. That is on the 14th of March. It's free. It'll be on YouTube and TikTok, just like this one. And we'll give away 5 more YouTube memberships that day too. If I can go live on TikTok while I'm in Vegas, of course I will, and show y'all some of the sights and stuff. If y'all want to tag along, be sure to follow me on TikTok. And for everybody that is on TikTok, I do follow you guys back at the end of the live. It gives me a printout or whatever, a list of people that followed me, and the people that gifted, and the people that just stayed for a long time. And I do try to follow you guys back because I like watching all you guys' TikToks too. So just in case you see me following you, I do follow everybody back. But I hope to see you guys. Don't forget, I do have a workshop coming up on March 23rd. We're going to do 75 questions in 3 hours, and it's going to be a mock exam for just ICD-10 and guidelines. So I hope to see you guys for that. The answer to this question was A. It was one of not our similarities. Another oddball for us. It ended up being not the N50s. It was the N49. The interesting thing about this one is that every single answer had the N51 in it, I think. No? Yes. Was it N51? No. Which code was in every single answer? The E code was in every single answer. That one was. What else was interesting about this question? I'm trying to think. I did this one. I can't remember. What was it about the N40? Let me bring this back down for you guys. Sorry. The N49. What was interesting about that? How would we know? N50 was in 3 of the answers, but it's not in the correct answer. What was N50? N50 was a disorder of the male genitalia organs. Oh yeah, because what he had going on was this thing of that thing. I don't know how much I can say on any of these platforms, so I'm not going to say them, these body parts. But what B, C had in common was they were diagnosing the patient with 2 different issues with that one body part. But a lot of this is just symptoms of that one body part, right? So he only needed one diagnosis for that one body part. So having the two ends was unhelpful. Now in D, you've got the same diagnosis down twice. You know that ain't right, because you don't repeat the same diagnosis down twice. So the only answer with only one thing wrong with that one body part and not including a bunch of symptoms is A. I don't know what time my lives will be. Oh, thank you so much, Teresa. Your support of the YouTube content is super helpful. I hope that helps. So the lives in Vegas, who knows? Good gracious, I don't know. You just have to be following me and change your TikTok little bell symbol to anytime I go live. It defaults to PRN. So you have to go into, like, click on my bio, the little blue symbol at the top right there. And then when you follow me, there's a little bell symbol in the corner. And if you click on that, you can change it to any time. And then your phone will get a little message and let you know that, oh, she's gone live. Then you can come home, hang out with me and the cheerleaders. And one disgruntled boy who's not being able to play with his video games system at the house, so he's probably not happy at all. But hopefully he's being fed well, and he's happy about that. We might go to that Area 51. There's some ostrich farms out there. I don't know. There's even a Western town out there somewhere, if it's still open. I don't know. Who knows? But this one is A. Thank you for the 7,000 taps. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Anybody know how to diagnose VIN? 1, 2, 3. There you go. Have at it. What's the diagnosis? Where do you go for the answer for that one? On YouTube, we've got 36 people on and 22 likes. Thank you so much. Where are you going? What's the easiest route? Are we a D, which is like cancer in situ, that kind of stuff, or an N, which is a kidney issue? Where would we be? Where are you going to go to find the answer? We're going to go to our ICD-10 book, of course. If you go to your alphabetical index in the front of your book and you go look up simply VIN, what are you going to find? VIN, A, B, C, D, E, F. So if you're over there in your ICD-10 book and you're looking in the alphabetical index and you look at VIN, it does give you a hint here. It says C neoplasms, intraepithelia vulva. So that tells you we're definitely going to be in the D's, right? Not in the kidney section. So we'll keep it at A and B. So now you can go look up DO 7.0 and the 1 and see what you guys think is the answer for that one. I got you halfway there. Now you guys can figure out what you think the answer is from there. I help lots of people prepare for the CCS. Don't forget, I've got a Discord study group that is super helpful. You can join it at my website at medicalcodingbyjen.com. And when you do join it, I have a room for just you Discord people, which will look like this in the Discord. So let me get that where you guys can see. So these are my rooms to Discord, and our CCS room is located right there. It says CCS and CCA practice, and this is where we have a ton of practice exam questions, answers, rationale, videos that people post. If people post a particular image, or if I attend some webinar that I think you guys should go to, it'll be posted in here with screenshots. All that kind of stuff is all right here. I'm just scrolling backwards through all of the conversations, but there's some screenshots from some CCS thing that I attend that went over some PCS PowerPoints right there too. So sorry, I'm showing this off to TikTok and not YouTube, so sorry guys. Anyway, super cool. And you can either look at my bio in TikTok. If you just click on my blue little symbol up there, the Discord ID number, there's like a digit number, is up there in the bio, just typed in. So then you can go to your Discord account and add yourself to any server with that number. Or you can go to medicalcodingbyjen.com, go to the social media tab, and look for the Discord edition save spot. There's like a little spot that says the Discord link, and you just click on it. It says join now, and you just click on it. It'll toss you right in there. What do you guys think is the answer for this one? This one is answer B. Did everybody get B? I think so. My teen has a weekend of doing schoolwork. Lord, mine's going to have a summer of doing schoolwork. I just give up. My little Jamesy, my little bluebird, he just is going to learn the hard way. I beg him to turn in his work, and he just doesn't turn it in. So then you can spend school in, summer school. Travi, on the other hand, has so much anxiety. As soon as he gets to class, he's immediately getting his work out and getting it done and turning it in before anybody else. He just cannot do anything else till he gets it turned in. He's on honor roll. And this was a child who was so bad in kindergarten, I could not send him back to first grade. He could not handle school. It was just atrocious. He was so bad. So I homeschooled him till junior high, and then he decided he wanted to go back to school. So I let him go back to school, and he still was pretty bad. He got write-ups all the time, but he's finally, oh my gosh, honors roll in high school. He's going to end up on like valedictorian or something. He's doing so good. His teachers are so happy with him. Just blessed beyond measure. Travi's doing so good right now, knock on wood. My little Jamesy, he just doesn't find the energy to hit the enter button. All of his classwork and stuff is on the computer. He'll type out some of it, but he just doesn't hit the enter button. So he can just spend his summer in summer school. While Travi and I are traveling the world, seeing the sights, having summer vacations, he can stay home with Grandma and do summer school, I guess. I don't know. I quit fighting and arguing with them. At this point, when they're in, 10th grade, I only have 11th and 12th, and then they're done. I just have to back away and let go, right? So the more I let go of Travis, the better he was, obviously, I guess. And then James has still got a little bit of work to do. And it's not every class. It's just not all 7 that he's in. He can hit the enter button in. He can do 4 to 5 of them. It's just getting those last 2. Hit the turn in button. Just turn it in. Oh my gosh. But, it's gotten to the point I can't hover anymore. I gotta let it go. and just let them suffer the consequences, you know. This one's cool. Do you have one diagnosis code or do you have two? You can eliminate and get down your answers really easily by that. And do you have one procedure you did or do you have two procedures you did? And then that makes my life easier because I'm not stressing out every day or looking or yelling and all that stuff. So I find it kind of nice not to stress or worry about it. Just let be what will be. Let it go. Let it go. Be Elsa. Let it go. I'll do my stressing and yelling at you guys, right? It's a great turnaround. I'm so proud of Travi. He was so bad. Oh, gosh. It was so bad. Never seen a kid crazy. And he'd been in preschool since he was a year old. And, you know, he had his Aunt Shy and everybody keep him till he was 1 year old. And then, you know, it's time to put him in school so they know how to act. And they always help with potty training and all that kind of stuff. Once they hit 1 year old, it's time to go to daycare. But daycare was fun. All they did was play all day. You know, he loved that. But having to sit behind a desk and learn to read and write and stuff like that when it wasn't fun or playtime was really hard for him to adjust to. And he would just, he was not about to do that. He just needed frequent breaks, frequent playtimes. That's all he needed. And they don't have the structure with 40 kids to be able to allow, you know, 15 minutes of lesson. Let's learn how to write your ABCs. Okay, now let's go play and dance for, you know, 20 minutes. Okay, now let's go back and write for 15 minutes. Okay, let's go back and play for 20. They can't do that. So he was much better at home doing that kind of stuff. He would sing and dance and twirl and play around in his Superman capes and stuff. But then I could get 15 minutes of work with him and then he'd go back to playing. And it worked out for us, but I was blessed to be able to work from home since 2013 with him. That was the only way I was able to do that. If I wasn't able to have a remote job from home, we would have suffered through first grade. He would have been suspended. I don't know how there would have been no way. I don't know. I don't know how we would have ever made it. Even in junior high, when he did want to go to school and he did go, they had so many write-ups. I had to do an IEP just to keep him from getting expelled. It was crazy. And it wasn't nothing. Good night, Jasmine. Yeah, they get bored easy. All right, what do you guys think is the answer? Did everybody get B on this one too? No issues? I don't think I saw anybody with the wrong answer. Bill, let's see, she was picking C. She went rogue way over here with the OO. What is 773? Oh, what is that? What is that? 573. 57300. That is a closure of a fistula, but our answer was that. It was that, but we did a restructuring of something, and you can see how they did the reconstruction. It's just word matching. That's all. That's why we were a B. The 300 is the fistula repair, but we did have to go in and do some wall support strength stuff. So that's why we're the 08. So it was a little bit of bonus extra stuff. Last one. I've never presented this question before. Ever. Never even seen it before. It's got the word Arizona in it and Wisconsin. What the heck is going on? Arizona 2 E&M codes and 1 for each visit is this. And then Wisconsin's gonna have that CPT code with these, what? And that CPT, and what the heck's going on with these answers? Kind of interesting, right? So it's OB and delivery. They're wondering what would happen if you were going to code for an OB and delivery where some of her treatment was done in Arizona, then she moved, and some of the treatment was done in Wisconsin. What would the answers be? Very cool question. Worth sticking around for. They stress you. I get overwhelmed because I don't know what to look at first. That takes time. What's similar in all the answers, right? What's different in all the answers? So, in answers A, Arizona with the 15. B has Arizona with a office visits, so not even an OB code as far as CPT code goes. So is C, would have Arizona 2 just regular office visits. And then answer D has one of the OB codes in the back of the book for Arizona. So how many visits were in Arizona? Let's just figure that point out first. She had 2 visits in Arizona. Would that constitute being 2 just regular office visits, or do they get partial OB codes in the back of the book in the CPT section? Knowing the answer to that, kind of like a guideline question, is super helpful. The HipPix code, Ms. Jackson. Or if you're talking about these codes, the Z codes, that's your ICD-10 book. But we're not worried about those yet. All we're dealing with is our first set of codes for every single answer, is what I like to do. Are we Arizona 2 E&M codes? Or are we Arizona gets a CPT code? We'll do 2 E&M visit codes for the Arizona. So you know D is out the door. We're not going to use that one. What else do we have that we can eliminate easily? One of the Wisconsins only has 1 of the CPT codes. This Wisconsin one has 2 CPT codes. So does this one. It has 2 CPT codes. It has the 95115 and the 95426. This one has the 95426, which is a commonality in both codes, both answers. All 3 answers, actually. So we probably don't even need to look that one up because it's in all 3 of the answers. So our difference between those answers is whether it's a 15 as the secondary code or the 26 or the 14. Is she a 15, a 14, or a 26? What determines the 15 code? 595, 15, and 14. 595, 595. 59515 includes postpartum care. 14 is just C-section only, and 426 is 7 visits or more. It says she will follow up with her Wisconsin physician after discharge for post-op care. So she is going to have post-op care. So would she be a 15, a 14, or a 26? And that's your answer. '26, though, is under a vaginal delivery. She had a repeat C-section. Anything with a 9-4 as the second and third digits is only a vaginal delivery. So you know you cannot be C because she had a repeat C-section. The only place that C-sections are done, as far as I know, right? What's our 26? Wisconsin 9426, 95246. Maybe that code's in every single answer though also, right? It's in every single answer. Her difference was the 14. The 14 was cesarean only. That's right. Cesarean only is 14. We did post-op care, so we can't do 14. B was 22. 22 was the one I was supposed to be looking at. Ugh. 9622. 9622, not the other one. 965. It is a lot of numbers to try to keep up with. 22. 22 is under cesarean delivery only, following an attempt at a vaginal delivery, previous C-section. This one does not include any antepartum codes. That one right there, the 59622, does not include any of her 10 prenatal visits. 9622, no prenatal visits. The only one that includes prenatal visits and a repeat C-section and her post-op partum care is the 59515. Right there. A. Now my brain hurts. Yeah, my brain hurts. And in my notes, I've got the answers down to, like, you know, if you've got multiple births, if you've got C-section and you have one baby born this way and one born a different way, what would the answer be? Just tell me what the answer is. That way they're in a little chart. That way you have it written out. That way you're not having to do all this during the exam. But this is an excellent one to add to our list for sure. I will be back with another free live lesson on Friday, the 14th. I am so sorry. Going to miss out on you guys for a little while, but hopefully you guys can hang out. There is so much free live lessons on YouTube, TikTok. My website has so many free practice exam questions and resources for you guys. Don't be afraid to go into my website, click around, check it out, see what's going on in there. You're not going to break anything. If you need to find something, need to know where something is, just click in my website, find it out. It's super helpful. Be sure to always join our Discord study group and ask for help. People are in there and they will help you out, like Go-Kart and Twinkle will help you out to answer all kinds of questions. We got 24 likes on YouTube, got 35 people on, and we ended up with 8,000 taps on TikTok. Yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you guys wanted to see the resources that we do have on my website, I can go over them real quick. Don't forget about Pocket Prep. I know I feel like y'all get tired of looking at my website, but for those who need to know what's on my website and where things are, let me show you that real quick. So if you go to my website, ooh, that ain't gonna work. Let me find a different one. I find that one. Will that work? A little bit better, but nope, we ain't there yet. Let's see. Ooh, there we go. There's my website. Okay. So, medicalcodingbyjen.com. Social media tab is the second tab right there. Just click on that. And this has everything. YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. There's the linky link for Discord. You just click the join now right there. And it'll toss you right into the Discord study group. Super easy. Which I'm already in, and then it popped that up. Let me go back to that. And let me get this off. There we go. Red Note. My Amazon list, like of all the favorite stuff, like if you want to know where the mushrooms are at and, you know, all that kind of stuff. That's all on the Amazon list. YouTube page, super cool. Have y'all been to the post page? Go to the post page. I have a ton of practice exam questions. Just click on what you think the answer is, and it'll give you the rationale. There's thousands of these things there. Go play around. Click on my stuff. It's all free. The live, if you click on the live tab, there's all my old lessons. There's like 4 years of free live lessons. You can listen to me yell at my kids, but I do have really great stuff there that I try to help teach you. There's 2 hours free lessons right there. You guys can watch all the replays. The dates are in sequential order, so like Wednesday's class is right there. This one's Mondays. This one's Fridays from last week. So super helpful. Go to the shorts tab and you can do a ton of practice exam questions. 10 seconds each question. There's a bazillion of these. And every time you guys hit a like or a thumbs up on these, it does help me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I think I got $17 last year from all the views on my shorts and live lessons. And I know that is helped by you guys clicking the likey thing and watching it all the way through. So that's super helpful, just in case. It's free YouTube money to me, so that's cool. Videos and playlist are also really cool. I also have the podcast where you can listen to me read out the guidelines to you, sentence by sentence. That's the ICD-10 podcast, and this is the E&M guidelines. You can start working on your E&M notes and then listen to the podcast in the background. I heard somebody say that they were doing that this week and that it was really helping them. I just read the sentence to you, what it says in the book. Sometimes I'm not very good at reading, so you have to excuse me, but I eventually get the sentence out, and then I tell you what it means in layman's terms, what I think it means, how it would relate to you towards the exam, what they're actually saying in real word English, because some of the words they put together and string together as a sentence is the most complicated thing I've ever heard in my life. It's like nothing anybody else would say in one sentence, and the conjugations of those words that they put together is a nightmare. I don't know how they come up with those terms, but anyway, I put it in layman's terms for you, so I'm hoping that that's helpful. But that post button is super cool. Don't forget to go there. There is so many practice questions, and they're all free. Go there. All right. Other things I got on my website are the resources tab. Super helpful. There's an FAQ area where you can learn about Discord. What is it? How do I join it? How do I sign up on it? It'll tell you all the steps involved. Show you some screenshots on how to use the Discord study group, what it all is, what it is, how you find the info. You just need to do your research once in there and go find the info that you need. If you click on the third sentence down, it says, where is your best list of free resources? This is really cool. These are all free grants, free classes, free certifications, free books, scholarships, and all the free sources that I offer. Like if you want book prep, you want book prep videos or anything like that, they're all listed there too. Also underneath the resources tab is CPT book prep, where you can go. There's 8 pictures here. Just click on the picture and do what I said in the picture. That'll be most of your notes right there, all for free. You don't have to buy them from me. You could just do this. And then I'll also show you how to do my anatomy notes, and then also how to do the ICD-10 notes. It's free right there. There's other helpful tips down here, like what's a parent code, what's a mama code, what the heck is she talking about? There's my OB answers right there. If you have twins born, one's natural, one's born C-section, what's the answer? There's a bunch of, you just write that chart in your CPT book, and there's the answer to your questions. This is the thing about what's a mama code, what's a parent code, what the heck does that mean? What is she talking about? That's what that is. If you click under the resources tab, I also have a tab called book prep videos. There are free videos there on how I did the digestive system, the anatomy part of it, and the CPT codes individually. You can watch those completely free. The rest of them, yes, are under YouTube, under a YouTube membership, which costs $5, but it's $5. But I do the first set for you right here, completely free. The blog is totally free. It has a ton of job listings. If you want to know how to code infusions, IVs, push injections, there's a blog about that with practice exam questions. There's a 9-chapter E&M. How do I do MDM without time or MDM noted? How do I do it if I only know the problem list, or if I only know how much data was reviewed, or what the risk assessment is? How do I figure out what the total MDM without them telling me an exam question? I have a 9-chapter book on that. It's with practice questions. That's called The Elements of MDM right there. All free for you guys to download. All this stuff is right here, completely free. If you want the guidelines, like to download as a Word document, and then you want to write my notes in on them to take with you to the exam, I have this right here. It says the guidelines with writable space for free. You can click on that. It's in the blog. And then you can download right there. Download it, click on that, and it'll download into Word. And you've got all this extra space where you can write my notes in right beside it. And you can take that with you on the online, or in a or with you if you have, you know, large handwriting and you want something that you can see for the people that are visually impaired. As long as you don't write on the back page of the printed paper, you can write on those guidelines and take them with you when you take the exam, either in person or remote from home. You can have the printed guidelines with you. I don't think it's, nobody has time to go read the guidelines during the exam. You only have 120 seconds, but some people love taking their guidelines. I don't know. But anyway, I have tons of stuff for you guys that are free here that I don't think anybody knows it's here, but there's tons of free stuff there. Also, there's free practice area with practice exam questions. You have to sign up for my website to get into that. But if you go to the free practice area, there's practice exam questions that you can do for free PDFs that you can download. The other free area is the shared gallery. And these are all my favorite pictures, like my favorite anatomy pictures that I use to make my notes with. How do I get an extra hour to take my exam? How do I get my apprenticeship taken off before I even take my certification exam? I got stuff like that there. What is your favorite ink pens that you use? Favorite highlighters? How do I make my ICD-10 notes? I got tons of pictures and stuff like that. How do I do my binding of my books? Tons of free pictures. How many exam questions are on the exam? And what sections do I need to study the most in? I have pictures of that. So it's all free for you guys. So be sure and check it out. It's just here to help you. If you do sign up for my website, do any orders, and you need to cancel subscriptions or check on your order or email me, it's right here on the middle of any page. It says, welcome to your medical coding family, and it'll have your little logo right there. There's a drop-down menu. You just check it out right there, and that's where you find your orders and subscriptions, and you can cancel them right there. Unless you do YouTube subscription. YouTube subscriptions I have no control over. That is through your Play Store device that you use to sign up for the YouTube subscription. And you cancel that subscription by going to your device and going to your Play Store. And you go to subscriptions and then you hit cancel subscription. That's where you do that. But other than that, I hope this is helpful. I hope you guys have a great spring break. I'm home all weekend until Monday. We're not leaving until Monday. So when I go live, again on TikTok or YouTube during the weekend, and I'm doing prep notes or practicing exam questions, your devices will alert you when I go live. I should have some time. I still have not finished any kind of training with the AAPC people to figure out how to use or sign up anybody for my online school. So I don't know what to do yet. So, and plus we're going to be on vacation next week, so hopefully will email me and let me know what's going on soon, so that I can sign people up for courses starting around March 25th. If anybody is wanting to take an AAPC certification course, but have me be their teacher and get them through the course, I should be able to do that hopefully around that time. But technically, you do not need a course to take your certification exam to get a job as a medical coder. You can do it like I did and self-study. It's exactly how I did it. But some people want a course, and if you do, it's nice to have me walk you through it. I think. I hope it will be. I hope it'll be worth it. I hope it's worth the $5,000 I spent to do that. So anyway, we'll see. I hope so. All right, guys, I love you. I hope to see you on Friday, if nothing else, when we do another free live lesson. Love you guys. I will see you guys later. I hope this was helpful. Is there anything else? Nope. Just go kart saying have a great time. Awesome. Anything on YouTube that y'all need answered before I go? My husband spoke good of Discord. Yes, it is. There's no tracking. There's no advertising. I don't get a list of your email addresses. Discord is a safe place for like gamers, and that's where they post all their stuff for their gaming stuff. So I can use it for storing all the repeat questions, right? You guys ask, what camera do I use for doing the exam from home? Or what laptop do you use? Or, you know, I've got all those answers and all those questions stored in Discord. Just go do a search inside my Discord group for whatever question you have, and look up the past conversations that people have had, and the answers are in there. So that's super helpful. I don't know, Angela, if that's true or not. They won't let you take the printed guidelines anymore. I don't know. Used to be able to. I hope so. I'm sure if you have a visual impairment, if you don't have 20/20 vision and you have to have your books printed larger font, you've got a true condition, you can get that waived, I'm sure, if there is a guideline about that now, that you can't take your printed guidelines, which is silly. But anyway, it's there just in case. I'm going to study with a friend for like 4 hours tomorrow. That is exciting, Christy. That's awesome. Did you post a new jobs on the blog? I'm working on it. I got some more I need to post. But I did update it recently. And some of those jobs you don't even need your CPC for. They're still like a referral coordinator. You don't need to be a CPC to do that. Super cool. All right, guys. I love you guys. I'm going to get off here. My throat is hurting from talking today. I don't know why. But I will see you guys later. I hope this was helpful. Some of these questions were so good tonight.